Can you hear me? Okay, now, so good afternoon, first of all. Good afternoon, right? So, as I told you, for us to start the lesson every day, we need the company file that we created, that we have maintained last week. Okay, that is that should be the pattern that we can continue. But I do understand when we were creating the company file last week, some of the students made mistakes. Some of you had some concerns about certain selections like industry classification, maybe the location. After completing, some students couldn't find the company file. Because of all these issues, I have given my company file. I have created a company file. And here I have given that company file on the LMS. I want you all to download that company file and we'll maintain that company. So each of you, all of you, I want you to download the company file I have given in the LMS. Now can you hear? Hello? Can you hear me? Fine. Now you can. Right. Now you all can download the company file I have given in the LMS and maintain that as your own company file. In front of the company file name, you can mention your student number. Right. You can mention the student number and you can maintain that as your own company file for the work that you have to do. Right. I hope you understand. I told you to take your company file to your email or whatever it is last week. But today I want you all to forget about that company file and download the company file I have given in the LMS. Right? So download it. This is only one last day that I'm giving my company file. Right? Thereafter you have maintained this as your own company file. Rename the company file name with your student number and maintain the same company file for your future work, the class, right? Because I have, for two reasons I am giving this company file. One reason is, as I told you, we have a expiry limitation. Within 90 days, we have to complete the learning. Therefore, I prepared this company file today. So you have one additional week of gap. That is one reason. And the other most important reason is, if there is any error in your own created company files, because still you are learning the basics of the software, right? If there is any mistake in your company file originally created, that will continue for all 13 sessions, right? Then most of your account set and all the future sessions will be disturbed. Then take this company file because it is correctly created. Download this and open it with the software, right? Right. Now, can someone tell me how do we open the company file? How do we open our company file? Last week we learned how to open it, right? First of all, we should open the software, right? First of all, we have to open the software. Here, this is MyOB Accounting Plus B17. Open the software, and there you have a button called Open, right? Click on that button and search from where you can find your company file. Always maintain your company file in a folder where you can easily find it, right? Now here you have to download my company file and keep it in a folder where you can easily access. So at this step, you can easily go and find your company file. Now here you can see I have a folder called Malitha 000. So here I have my company file. Let me do this and let me first download this. Yeah. So here I have my company file. I downloaded it. So from here, I'm taking it to my own folder. Right. So I have this in my folder. Now I can use the software, open. Here in my folder, I find my company file, right? Then I open that company file. See, that is that should be coming as the administrator because I didn't create any other logins here. Click OK, and you can see what is the option we have to select. The third option, right? The third option, the student version, 90 days remaining. It should be 90 days remaining because I created this company file today. If you are using the correct company file, there should be 90 days remaining. Okay. If it is 83 days remaining, that is wrong. That is a company file. Should not be 83 days. It should be 90 days remaining. My company file. You have taken. Okay. Oh, then command line mama dena company file ini. Ini download karo. Folder එකට දාගන්න. Open නෙමෙයි open. ඔය software එක download කරන්නේ. Open the company file එක. Other go to today's this week. This week is right. So select the third option. There should be 90 days remaining. And run on the campaign. Verify. Right, there's a small problem in the internet connection. There's a small problem in the network connection. Now they will check that. Those who downloaded, please open the company file. Right? Those who could download the company file, open the company file with the third option, continue. Then click OK. You have 90 days left. Okay. Right. So this is your company to be created under my OB. Okay. Try to download and open the company file. Right now, those who cannot download the company file, if you practiced how to create a company file at home, you can create a company file in 5 minutes if you want. Right? If we have just created a company file, that takes only 5 minutes. Create new, enter the basic information, 3 steps. You can create the company file if you want. But I hope, can't you still download the file? Does it work? No internet. Hands up those who couldn't download the company file before internet. Hands up those who couldn't download the company file. Come hands up those who couldn't download the company file. How to never? Very few. Oh. Just write down because in this company take the working problem. Just refresh your pages and see. Try to refresh your LMS page and see whether you can download the company file. Okay, you are downloaded. Downloaded. No, you. This time you are allowed. I'll have downloaded file. Anyone having problems? No. Right. Okay, so this is our company file we opened, right? Now, after creating the company file, as I told you, we are first going to set up the tax codes and accounts. Okay, in a company for us to progress with the accounting function. The most important and the major thing we want is the accounts list of accounts, right? In our technical terms, we call that the ledger, right? Ledger where you have all the accounts. In this case, we call that the account list. And then we have to have a proper tax codes list that will be used in our transaction. Okay. So having that understanding, we will first look at the tax codes, how to modify it, and how to create new tax codes if you want, right? Now, I want you all to write down some notes. As I told you, I'll not be dictating notes, but for you to remember the steps of what you are doing or what you are learning, I want you to have keep some notes, right? Then when you try to recall your understanding, that will be much convenient. Otherwise, you will forget. While we are learning these things, we will remember all that. But it's scientifically proven only 10% of the content you learn in the class will retain in your memory after 1 hour. And therefore, the rest of the 90% you will forget. right? Therefore, better to take notes. No need to write lengthy notes like paragraphs you don't have to write, but at least write a few. Edit the tax codes as the small heading and write down the steps how to edit. So that way, I want you all to maintain some notes so that will be helpful for your final exams. Right. Now the step to follow is we will first go to the list tab. Right. What are we going to do? We are going to edit the tax codes. Okay. Go to the list tab and there we go to tax codes. Okay. Go to the list tab. Then go to the tax codes. Right. So that shows you a list of tax codes that are available in MyOB or this particular company. Now here, I have given a document called tax codes, right? I want you all to download that and open, right? Here you can see the document called tax codes. Open that document and see what is given in it. You are given some tax codes to be deleted. Right? Delete the following tax codes. And then there's a bullet point given. There should be a tax code for value-added tax or VAT that is linked to VAT collected and VAT paid accounts at the prevailing rate for VAT in the country. Right? So you are given two tasks. One is to delete some tax codes, and the other task is to create a tax code. Okay. When we look at this tax codes list, as I told you in MyOB, all this information, all this data are stored in separate databases, right? For tax codes, you have a separate database, so that has all the tax related information, right? So in in this kind of elements, we can do three things. Not only in tax codes, in accounts, in suppliers, all this, we can do three things. One is creating a new. Second thing is modifying an existing. Right. Third thing is deleting. Right. What are the three things? You can create a new, then you can modify an existing, and you can delete. That is those are the three things. In anything, right? Those are the three things you can do. What is the easiest thing out of these three? Delete, right? Building is very difficult, but destroying is very easy. So deleting is the easiest thing. That's why I have started with the easiest work. You can delete a few exports given, right? Then next easiest is modifying. If you have a given template, so in that you can just modify a few contents, right? Most difficult thing is creating a new from the script, right? Then we will see how to do that. First of all, we will see how to delete the tax codes. Look at the first tax code to be deleted. Code is IMP. The name of the tax is import duties, right? The import duty code we are supposed to delete. All right. So we will go there and see where's IMP here. Import duty. Okay. Import duty you can find in the database. In every data line or in every account tax code, in front of them, there is a small arrow. You see that? There's a small arrow. We call this white zoom arrow. I don't personally call that. It's the terminology in MyOB. In MyOB, white zoom arrow. In MyOB terminology, it's known as the white zoom arrow. White zoom arrow. The meaning is the color is white. When you click that, you can zoom in to that content. Right? You can go inside that content. That's right. So in front of that, I want you to click the white zoom arrow of IMP, import duty. Click on the white zoom arrow. So you are going into the code, right? You are zooming in to that code, right? Then you can see what are the available information. You have tax code, you have the description and tax type and the rate, and also you have some linked accounts, right? These tax codes should be linked to certain accounts. All this information are available. By looking at the information, you are required to do what? You are required to delete this. Nothing to do, right? Just right click and delete. Right click. Right click then you have an option to delete tax code. Okay. Click on the delete tax code. Okay. Then you can click on the OK button. Right. Then you'll see the tax code or import duty tax code is deleted. All right. The same way, can you delete the given tax codes? You have a list of tax codes. Can you delete all that? Right. IMP we have deleted. Then GW. GW. Where is it? Here. So I go into the tax code, delete tax code. Okay. Right. And LCG. LCG. Let's see. I mean, there's an alternative than clicking on this white zoom arrow. You can even double click on the tax code and zoom in. Right? That's an alternative option. Rather than going with clicking on this white zoom arrow, you can double click on the tax code, then you can go inside. Right? Right click, delete. Delete all the tax codes given in the Word document, not in the tax codes list, right? Delete only the tax codes given in the Word document table. If you read it properly, you should have this tax codes list. Okay, hands up those who deleted the tax code properly. All done. All right, now hands up those who have deleted some unnecessary tax codes that are not meant to be deleted. Hands up those who mistakenly deleted the tax codes that are important. No one? No one? No one? No one. You properly deleted all the required tax codes. You didn't mistakenly delete any of the other tax codes. Sure? Then this class will have 100% pass rate this time. In the last batch that I had examined, when I started that batch, 3 students had deleted unnecessary tax codes. I mean, and in that batch, only 1 student failed. In this case, no one. Then you all are paying the right attention. So there will be 100% pass rate in this class. Right. Then there's a lesson. If you have made a mistake, then there's a lesson. When you delete a tax code, how to create a new, then only that lesson comes, right? Anyway, we will see how to create a new tax code later. Now, since the deleting is done, the last bullet point, we have to create the value added tax. Okay, value added tax. When it comes to Sri Lankan context, value added tax has come into play recently. Before that, it was GST, goods and services tax, right? In any country, they will have goods and services related taxes, and that is known in different names. In certain countries, that will be known as GST, goods and services tax. Even in Sri Lanka, we had that as GST previously. Then it became VAT, right? But the nature of the tax is goods and services tax. Okay. So here, now we are supposed to somehow have this VAT tax code in our list. We will go and see whether there is a goods and services tax available in our list. Okay. Here I find it, GST tax code. Okay. So in our country or in our context, we don't have a tax code GST now, right? The GST is now converted into value-added tax. Therefore, rather than creating a new tax code for value-added tax, we will modify this GST tax code to make it value-added tax. All right. Now, first we learn deleting. Then we are going to learn how to modify a tax code. Right. It's very simple. You select the tax code that you want to modify, GST. Go inside that using the white zoom arrow, or you can double click on that. Right. You can go inside the tax code GST and change the name as VAT. Tax code is VAT for VAT. And then the district, then you can see when you press the tab key, use the tab key in your keyboard to move from one field to another. Okay. When you try to move to the next field, the new tax code will replace the old code for all existing items invoices. Click OK. Right. Then the description you have to write as value added tax. Okay. Value added tax is the description. Then the tax type is goods and services tax, right? Tax type is goods and services tax, and tax rate. What is the prevailing tax rate in the country? 18%. Any different percentages? For certain financial services, now it has been 20.5. I don't know what will happen to the other rates in the future, but to the moment, at the moment, we have 18%. So we will have convert that as 18% and press tab key. Then you will get a message. Changing this tax code will not affect any sales purchases, banking or journal transactions already created. When you are changing this as 18%, that 18% will not impact any previous or historical transactions. Is that correct or not? That is correct, right? When the government is imposing a tax code from midnight today, it will be 18%. Then previous transactions cannot be affected. They should be recorded at their own tax code, I mean tax rates. From this day onwards, the future transactions will be recorded at the new tax rate. Okay. Then you can click on the OK button, right? Then you can see there are two accounts linked to this tax code. Okay. There are two accounts linked to this tax code. One is tax collected account. The other is tax paid account. Right. I hope you can remember the tax accounting in your A levels, advanced level. Many students don't do that question in A levels. They hate that question. Tax account, right? Tax control account and that. Now, basically what happens is when you are buying some goods, when you're purchasing, you're paying tax on that, right? When you pay that tax, that becomes an asset to you because you can claim it from the tax authority. If you are a tax registered supplier, right? Then you can claim that because you have paid it. It's an asset to you. You can claim it from the tax authority. And when you sell your goods, you are adding a VAT percentage, right? Then you collect that money with, right? You collect that money. Then you have to pay that to the tax authority. It's a liability, right? So in one side you have an asset, on the other side you have a liability, right? The net of these two is considered as the net liability or net asset, right? If it's a net liability, you have to settle that to the tax authority, inland revenue. Or if it's an asset, they won't pay you. you have to claim in the future, right? You can deduct it from the future settlement, right? That is the nature. Then here you have to have two accounts. One is a liability account, and here in this case, other is a not liability account, it's a liability reversal account, right? Because it's a net value you are calculating at the end, right? Now the names of the two accounts are GST collected and GST paid. Technically, it should be VAT collected and VAT paid. Now we have to change it. All right, we have to change it. But still we don't know how to modify accounts. That is the account modification. That's not tax code modification, right? Therefore, having that understanding, we leave this tax code here, right? From this drop down, just for your understanding, from this drop down arrow, you can select the tax code, tax account. But here we don't have any suitable account to select. So we will just save this, click OK, click OK, and save that account, knowing that inside the tax code, we have a small problem with the names of the accounts. They are GST, but we have to convert them into VAT, right? So we modified the GST tax code as VAT, right? So that is tax code modification. Then let me show you another lesson. Right. Now, since none of you have deleted mistakenly any account, let me delete one account mistakenly. Okay. Now I'm deleting. You all just pay attention and see. I don't want you all to delete and do that. Here, FRE, right? Let's say I mistakenly deleted this account, this tax code. Delete, right? Now I want that again. So what I can do is, I don't have any other account tax code to modify. What I will do is I will create a new tax code. Okay, I will create a new tax code. How I'm going to create it? Here there is a button called new, right? At the bottom you can see there's a button called new. You click on that. That gives you the empty template to create a new tax code, right? Now can someone zoom into the FRE account tax code and tell me the instructions to prepare this? අපිට කෙනෙක් log වෙන්න open කරන්න FRE මම delete කරපු tax code එක. Can you all open that? FRE, right? Now tell me the details of the FRE. The tax code is FRE, right? Capital FRE, and then the description is GST free. Tax type, goods and services tax, rate 0%, and tax collected is GST collected and tax paid is GST paid, right? So I just entered new information to a blank tax code format, and then I click on OK, right? So here I have created that FRE tax code. That is creating new tax code. Nothing difficult here. It's just the modification step, but you click on new button and then you start from the fresh template. That's the only difference. All right. Okay. Clear? So that is the exercise. If you want to try that, you have to do this as an activity with two friends, right? One is supposed to delete an account, a necessary account, FRE. You can have a partner only for this activity. You can ask your friend to delete FRE, and you have to show your information for him to create it. Okay, shall you do that? You find your partner for this activity, and then one can delete the FRE tax code, and then he or she can create the tax code by looking at your friend's information. And after that, the other can delete the tax code and other information to fill. Take 5 minutes and quickly do that activity to learn how to create a new tax code. On give you there or කතා කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඒක නිකන් delete කරන්න තියෙනවා. Right? You can Just delete and keep track of sense information to create it. Lamai, take this serious and do it. Okay. If you don't have credit, I'll show you the details. To delete and create it new. Here, these are the details of the FRE. So, delete your FRE based on this information, create a new. Create a new? No, you create. Here you can see the information here in the board. Right? Okay. So that is your first and the easiest learning. The tax code list, right? We have modified our tax code list. How we did that? We deleted unnecessary tax codes. We modified some of the necessary tax codes according to our context, right? We changed the GST according to our context, Sri Lankan context, by changing it as well. And then we learn how to create a new tax code when it is required, right? So that is about modifying the tax codes in the MyOB, right? Then you can close down that window. Then you can close down the tax code list, right? Then in MyOB, our next task is to modify the account, right? Modify the accounts list. In modifying the accounts list, MyOB has given a step-by-step wizard. We call that easy setup assistant, right? Easy setup assistant for most important functions. In our business, we have very important functions. For those functions, MyOB has given something called an easy setup assistant. So that is guiding step by step for us to set the default values. right? Set the default value. Default value is still again මොනවද? සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි create කරා ඒක උඩ මොනවා හරි create කරන්න යනකොට ඒකේ base value standard values ටික, right? අපි ඒවා modify කරන්න නැත්නම් basically අපිට එන values ටික, right? So we have to set them. We have to set those basics and the default values, right? So that is called easy setup assistant. If you are writing now notes down, that's why I'm telling all these technical terms. Easy setup assistant for accounts, right? Accounts. The steps are: you go to the setup tab, right? Go to the setup tab and easy setup assistant. You can see under setup tab, you have easy setup assistant. All right. Click on that easy setup assistant. As I told you, you can see the important functions are here, right? Accounts is an important function. Sales, purchases, payroll, and there is a special or connected area called customize, right? So out of these, we go to the accounts, right? Accounts easy setup assistant. Here, accounts. Click on accounts. Right. So here you have come to the accounts easy setup assistant. There is a small introduction. Take 2 minutes and read it. That tells you why you are here to do the easy setup assistant and what you can do. Read the introduction carefully. Right. So with this, all right. ළමයි කියවන්න කිව්වේ මේ එක කෙනා එක කියවන්න නෙමෙයි. මේකේ තියෙන මේ introduction එක කියවන්න. All right. So if you read it carefully, right? If you read it carefully, it tells you what we are supposed to do in this step. We are going to modify our account list basically by deleting, modifying or creating new accounts that are required, right? So after reading it, you can click on the next button, right? So that gives you the existing accounts list. Okay, it gives you the existing account list. Now here, what you can do with account list? What you can do with account list, because account list is also another database, as I told you, in MyOB. So that contains different accounts, different data, right? In the database, again, what you can do with account list? Again, the same 3 things, right? Again, the same 3 things you can do with the account list. What are the 3 things? Either you can delete accounts, modify existing accounts, or create new accounts. That's it, right? These are the 3 things you can do with the account list. So you can see at the bottom, there are 4 buttons. First one is new, right? That is to create new account. Then edit, that is to modify an existing account. And then third button is to delete an existing account. Last option is to import. Import option is available if you have an exported accounts list somewhere, right? Using MyOB, you can export this account list to a text file, and that can be imported to another company, right? Similarly, now that import export option can be used if you are opening up a new branch in the same type of a business. Let's say you are running a business and you have branch A, a similar branch you are opening in a different place, branch B, right? Then the same account list and the same accounting procedures are applicable for the new branch. Right? Then you can export this list and import to that company, right? Because it's the same exact account list. You understand? Is that clear? Not clear? Let's say if you are exporting, I hope you know what is exporting and importing, right? Exporting an account list from a system means you take all this account list to a file, a separate file. Then you can import that account list to another new company like we have created now, right? That can be done if the same industry, a similar business is operated in the new business, right? So, but in this case, we don't have any other previous account list exported. Therefore, we can't use the import option, right? We have nothing to import, right? So here we will see how to edit, create or delete accounts. For that, there is another Word document I have uploaded. You can see accounts to delete. We'll start with the easy one. Sorry, I have uploaded that with the small mistake. Highlighted accounts are there. Remove all the highlightings. Remove the highlighting. Now this is the list of accounts we have to delete. Okay. We will see how to delete these accounts. You can look at this accounts list. And when you scroll down, you will notice each account is having a account number, account code, right? So those codes are starting with 1 digit and there will be a 4-digit number, right? The first digit is representing the asset class or sorry, the account class. If it is an asset account, that will start at 1, right? And you can see if it's a liability account, that starts with 2, right? And then if it's equity, start with 3. If it's an income, it starts with 4. And if it's a cost of sales account, it starts with 5. If it's an expense, it starts with 6, right? And there is no 7. There's no any account starting with 7. I don't know why. Maybe it's a lucky 7. Then if it's another income, it starts with 8, right? And if it's other expense, it starts with 9. Okay, those are the codings. When you see this number, you should be able to figure out this is an asset account. This is an income account. This is a liability account. That classification should be there in your mind, right? And then you have a 4-digit code for every account. There are certain standards of this code. There can't be 2 accounts with the same account number, right? This account number is unique for an account. There can't be 2 accounts with the same account number, right? And if you carefully notice the location of the account, right? The order of the account depends on this account number. You can't drag and drop the accounts here and there, right? In MyOB, you can drag and drop accounts up and down. It all depends on the ascending order of that number, right? If you look at an example here, let's say this operating expenses. So its parent category is 6, right? Then operating expense is given the 4000. 4 is the main classification, and under that 4100 is appearing first, 4200, 4300, like that, ascending order, right? From the lowest to the highest order, based on the account number, the accounts are arranged, right? Accounts ටික arrange වෙන්නේ ඒකේ numbers number එකේ තියෙන ascending order එක, right? අඩු එකේ ඉඳලා වැඩි එකට. That is the order, right? You can't manually drag and drop accounts here and there. දැන් මේ යට තියෙන එකක් ඇදලා නම් ඉරු ඩින් දාන්න බෑ, right? If you want to change the location, what you can do? then account then what you can do? Yes? Change the number. You should change the number, right? When you change the number to a lower number, it will go up. Okay, that is the only way possible. Right? Just understand that, and also just see there are how many levels are there? How many levels of accounts are there? Just try to figure out. Yeah. How many? 2, 3, 4, 5. How many levels of accounts are there? Hands up those who say 4. Other usala aata metan joint sunat තියෙනවා 1 2 4 levels 4 levels කියන නෑ කවුද? Only 1 2. Hands up those who say there are 3 levels. Hands up those who say it can't be 1 level. You can see there are many levels, right? Hands up those who say 5 levels. 5. There are 5 levels of account. A few, right? What do others say? How many levels? Right, there are 4 levels, right? That is the pattern. First of all, first we say the wrong answer and then the correct answer. There are 4 levels actually. If you look at the asset, right? The assets category 1-000, that is coming in the first level, right? First level is the highest level of accounts, right? Then under that, the subcategory comes as current assets, that is 1-1000, right? So it comes one step below. And then you have another subcategory under current assets, that is cash on hand, that is 1-1100. Then again, the other accounts come in the fourth category. They are the individual accounts that represent the cash. Now, in this accounts list, in this account, you can see some accounts are highlighted or bold, right? Bold in their text. And some accounts are not bold, right? So it is not just about appearance. This has a meaning. The meaning is these accounts that are highlighted in bold, they are known as header accounts. If you are taking your notes down, you can write down. There are 2 types of accounts in the chart of accounts. They are header accounts and the other type is detailed accounts. Right? Header accounts and detailed accounts. All right. Then header accounts are used to classify the accounts and to calculate the subtotals of a class. Right? Header accounts are used to classify the accounts and to calculate subtotals of that particular class. Right? In header accounts, you can't record transactions. In header accounts, you can't record transactions. Header accounts are there to classify. All right. Detailed accounts are there to record transactions. In detailed accounts, you record transaction. You can't take subtotals. You are directly recording transactions in those accounts. Right? These are the two major types of accounts in my book. All right. This knowledge is important. This knowledge is important for your online quiz, not the online, the mid-semester quiz, and even for your final examination. Okay. So what are the 2 types of accounts? Yes. What are the 2 types of accounts? Header accounts and detailed accounts, right? In header accounts, we use header accounts to classify and take subtotals. We use detailed accounts to record transactions. Now, for example, if you look at this first few, under assets, asset is there as a broad classification, but under that account, we can't record it, right? Current assets is to classify the current assets under the assets, but we can't record transactions in it, right? Cash on hand is another classification to a particular type of asset, but that will take the total of cash on hand. But in that account, we can't record transactions. But in the check account, immediately after that, in the check account, we are recording transactions. All right. So we are recording transactions in those detailed accounts. All right. Are we clear with that? Understood? Right. Then we will see how to delete these accounts. The first account to delete is 1-1150. 1-1150 provisions account, right? Provision account. I want you to go into that account. How do you go into a particular account? Now you know the technique. Using the white zoom arrow, or you can even double click on this. But there's a white zoom arrow in front of it. Wherever there is a white zoom arrow in front of something, you can zoom into that particular account, code, transaction, whatever it is. Right? That is the technique or tool given in MyOB to zoom into that particular detail. Right? Go into that and see what are the available information. You can see whether that is a header account or a detailed account. Right? You can see it's a detailed account now. Right? And then you can see account classification. It's a bank account. It's account number and the account name. All these details are there. And then there is a small button or small tick box that is inactive account. Right? This inactive account option is there to, let's say you used a particular account for a long time, and thereafter, after a particular point, you don't need that account. Right? So in that case, you can inactive this account. So in the search options, this account will not appear, but it will be there in the accounts list. Right? You can't delete an account that has historical transactions. In accounting, we usually can't delete an account with a lot of transactions in it. Right? That අවුරුදු පහකට කලින් වෙච්ච transaction එකක් we want to backtrack. Right? You can't be deleting those information, but you can hide that to make your work easier. Therefore, you have this button inactive account. Right? It will be inactive in the search options. Right? Then in the detail tab, you can see there you can write, you can have a description of the account, right? For anyone to refer. Someone who is referring to this account, they can have a small description. And then you have the tax code linked to this account. Right? If there is any tax code linked to a particular account, you can mention that here. Then when you're entering any transaction in these accounts, you don't have to specify specially the tax code. It will be automatically captured. Right? For example, in this case, it's not reportable or not taxable NT, no tax code relevant for this, right? And then if this account is linked to another account, right, that will also be highlighted here, linked account form, right? If this account is linked to a particular function, okay, if this account is linked to a particular function, that will also be available here. But in this case, there's nothing like that, right? And then in the banking, that will give you the bank account number and any details that are related to this account. And in the history, right, in the history, that will give a very basic comparison of last year figures and this year figures, for you to just compare and see what has happened, how this movement has gone, right? So I just wanted to show this information. In any account, this will be the interface, right? This will be the template for any account creation. Now we are not going to modify anything here. We have to delete this account, right? It's just a matter of right click and delete account. Okay. Right click and delete account. So you can see that account is deleted. 1,150. I showed you all that information or details because those are the details available in the accounts creation. Right. So like that, shall we delete these accounts? Shall we quickly delete these accounts? Provisions account we have deleted. Now we will delete 1,500 prepaid interest.
Then 2,100 land.
Okay, did you all delete the accounts? Delete the entire list? Deleting is not that difficult, right? Just right click and delete. ඔගොල්ලෝ Gen Z නේ? පස්සේ කරනවා. Gen Z නේ? Now you all are how old are you? 21? 20. When we are comparing with the 21 age old and our era and our parents' era, and now currently we are getting this. Every year we are getting young crowd into our education system. We are seeing that. I'm seeing this for like 10 to 11 years. And our we see patterns. I don't say hey, the responsibility is a little bit dilute. Being a responsible person, they have done a lot of sacrifices. I can't get down a glass in the marrying also now. 18. Now, the problem is now playing video games and all this. No, I'm just joking. I mean, that is not fault actually, that is biology, I think. I mean, that is there. Research has proven that. Not to blame, you all have the capacity. Okay. But I mean, the responsible behavior is different. Okay, right. Okay. Anyway, you all have deleted the accounts. Now the problem is it's not that, right? You all can have fun and all that since you all are learning here. But when you go to the corporate sector wants highly responsible people, right? You all are going into a very serious field, accounting finance, right? You can't play with that. Numbers, they are very important. Sometimes your business will be highly depending on the work you are doing. Business decisions will depend on your work, right? Let's say you are doing MPV, based on that business will invest. Just do it for fun, very serious, right? So we can't do anything about it. We can't do anything about generations being different. But at least try to take the responsibility when you are in the lectures, try to pay attention and take it serious. Then you will have a competitive edge, a huge edge. Because when the whole generation is going down, if you are responsible, you can stand out from the crowd in a big way. So have a blend between the, I don't want you all to be old school, but have fun, have that relaxed mindset. That's all. That's nice. So not to be very serious and be boring people. I don't want you to be that, but have responsibility. Right? Now you have deleted the. I hope everyone deleted the accounts, right? I hope everyone deleted the accounts. Hands up anyone who is still deleting the. No one. Right. Okay. Now
Stop. It is. You all have deleted the accounts. Then we'll do small work here. Click on, right? Click on the new button. We are going to create a new account. Okay, we are going to create a new account. Click on this button, new. Then you get the same interface we referred to, right? We get this template. I want you to create a new account with this information. Make sure it's a detailed account. Out of these two, not a header account, it should be a detailed account, right? Select the detailed account. If it's already selected, that's okay. And then the account type, make it income account, right? Income. Account type should be income. All right. From the drop down, from this drop down, select income. So you can see the account number is starting with 4. Okay. Starting with 4. And then the 4 digits should be 1,300. Type the account number as 1,300. Then press the tab key. Account name. Type the account name as ground fee income. Ground fee income. Okay. Ground fee income. All right. So this is the interface information. It should be a detailed account, and it should be account type. Account type should be income, and then account number is 4-1300. Account name is ground fee income. Okay. All right. Then when you go to the details tab in this account creation, you have a number of tabs. Here from the profile tab, when you go to the details tab, you can see there's a tax code. Okay. So tax code I want to select as VAT, value added tax. Just type the letter V, it will automatically take it. Right. It should be value added tax. Link this account to VAT tax code. The meaning is your ground fee income is subject to VAT. Right? When you're earning ground fee income, that should be subject to value added tax. Okay. Right. Then you can click OK. Right? You can click OK. Then you can see under income here, that is under income, ground fee income account is created. Okay. Now you know how to delete accounts and you know how to create new accounts. Okay. So we'll do a small modification to accounts. Right. Go to the liabilities category. Go to the liabilities category. All right. Here under liabilities category, do you see a header account called GST liability and 2 detailed accounts below that called GST collected and GST paid. Right. So we are going to change this GST as VAT. Can you remember? We changed the tax code, but we couldn't change the accounts. Now here we are modifying the GST accounts as VAT accounts. Okay. So first we will go into the header account. This header account, we'll go into the header account and we will change the first 2 letters, right? Only first 2 letters. ES I karla VA කියලා type කරන්න. Instead of GST, I'm modifying that as VAT, VAT. Right? Clear? I modified the GST header account as VAT header account. That's it. Then click OK. All right. Then click OK. So you can see 2-1,300 VAT liabilities. Right? VAT liabilities is a header account. Then GST collected, right? GST collected, you can go inside that account. Instead of GST collected, make it VAT collected. make it VAT collected. GST collected, convert it as VAT collected. Only the name change, right? Only the name is changed, nothing else. All right. And the same thing for VAT paid. GST paid, convert the GST paid into VAT paid. And GST paid account එක VAT paid කියලා change කරන්න. GST paid, VAT paid. Okay. So I hope it's clear. We modified the accounts. Okay. So we learned here how to delete accounts, how to create a new account, and how to modify an existing account. Right? Okay. So if you want to delete, create, or modify an account, you should not always go through this easy setup assistant process. Now here we are in a middle step of a process, right? Easy setup assistant process, accounts modification. For you to do that, there is a shortcut, there is an easy way. You don't have to go through this entire process, but here I wanted to show you this process is there to fine tune everything, and this is how you edit, modify, and edit, create, and delete the accounts. Okay. If you understood that technicality, that's all, right? Then we will go to the next step. I'll show you how to modify. There are a lot of modifications we have to do. We'll go to the next major step, right? At the bottom, we'll go to the next step after learning. Now, if you have any opening balances of your account, right? Let's say this is not a newly started business. If it was a continuous business, then you may have some account balances, opening balances of these accounts, right? In this step, you can enter those opening balances, but fortunately or unfortunately, we don't have opening balances, right? We don't have opening balances. This is a fresh startup. Therefore, we can skip this step. We can go to the next step. Congratulations, right? So, congratulations, you have finished the easy setup assistant account, easy setup assistant. All right, let's close this then. Click on the close button, right? And close this window as well, right? So we have gone through the accounts easy setup assistant, and we learned three things: how to delete accounts, modify accounts, and how to create new accounts, right? Then there, as I told you, no need to go through this entire process. If you want to access the accounts list, chart of accounts, and modify the accounts, the easiest way is in this accounts command center, right? I hope you are okay with that terminology now. These are command centers and these are command center buttons. That's how we learned last week, right? In the accounts command center, when you go to accounts list function, when you go to accounts list, you can see the same accounts list or the chart of accounts classified for different classes, right? Accounts separate, all accounts you can see. This is what we show there, right? This all accounts list we show there in the easy setup assistant. But here we have a nice classification: assets separately, liability, equity, income, all these classes separately, right? Just you can go and see under liability, you can see the VAT liability, VAT controlled, and VAT paid accounts that we edited, right? You can easily go and edit at this step, right? At the bottom, you can see you have the new account creation button, new button to create a new account if you want, and you have the edit button on the right hand corner. Edit button. If you want to modify an account, you can do that. And also, if you want to delete an account, you don't need a button. Go into the account, right click, and you can delete, right? So this is the easiest place, and this is the place actually where you have to refer to the chart of account, right? Before taking the break, let me show you one more thing. Just close this chart of accounts, and shall we go to the tax codes list? You should remember the path now. Tax codes, how to go to tax codes. List tab, tax codes, right? Tax codes. How to go to tax codes list? We go to the list tab and tax codes, right? Go to the tax codes, and you can see now the value added tax code is here. I want you to go into that value added tax code using the white zoom arrow. Go into that. Now, can you see the names of the linked accounts? the names of the two linked accounts, they have changed, right? So they have changed as value added tax, VAT collected and VAT paid, right? The meaning is these accounts and codes are running in different databases, and these databases are interlinked, linked together, right? When you change in one place, the other place will also be altered. It's a very basic function, right? Even in Excel, when you link two sheets, when you change one place, other place is automatically changed, like that, right? So these are different databases, but they are linked to the right place. So that is how its backend is working. All right. Then we have modified the required stuff. Then we have a time-consuming modification to the entire account list. Before starting that, we will take a break. Mark your attendance and then take the break. Okay. Thank you, Mark. Akan load another reason.
මේ කියන පස්සේ expired කියලා කියනවා.
expired දැන් ඉතින් දැන් මගේ
password එක යවන්න හරියන්නේ. නෑ මගේ username password ගහන්න ඕනේ. නෑ මේ attendance ගන්න. ඉතින් attendance දැම්මට දානකොට ඔයාගේ LMS username password වලින් log වෙලා ඉන්නේ.
ඒකෙන් දාලා උනේ. ඊට පස්සේ දැන් මෙතනද මේ මෙතනද password.
Make eyes scan.
Thank you.
Okay, device එක මොකක්ද මේ වගේ range එකක් තියෙනවා HPXP ඒකේ සාලින්ජලගේ support එක ගේන්න බලන්න laptop එක. Very good. All minus goddamn මොකක්ද තියෙනවද? Restart till the is restart. One week hotspot पर ही नहीं दिए हटा सीता का मुझे बात कर रात की कंप्यूटर की ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम में की सर पर रखा है why does that show एक हम शादी में पढ़ना चाहिए तो यार कितना बलम था हमारा सीता का मुझे पढ़ के जरा नहीं दे रही है आर के प्रोसेस के बाद ये लेगा एक्टिवेट करा है ना ये भी दे रहा हूं ये तुमने यूजुअली एरर है क्या चुट्टा कॉन्फ़िगर करने के बाद मशीन नहीं
बताना சொல்லி
Excuse me. What's that?
ඉතින් අනේ අරයට කියන බජට් අරයට කියන එහාවරයි ඕ හද මේක් සෙන්ස් නෝද බ්‍රිටිෂ්
that means not
අලෝ අර කො සබන් බෝල් සබන් කියන්
අනේ මේ කොන්ද කැඩිලා තියෙන දාම බෑ
got to bed
කට බෙද්දල මට නම් ළඟයි නේද
නෑ කටේසෙන්
බෑ ඔයාලට දුරයි ඔයාලට දුරයි
ट्रेन එකකින් ගෙනවනම් කොළඹින් නැගලා රත් බලන්නේ හරි මත්
ආ උඹට උඹෙන් යන්න බෑ පාදුක්ක පැත්තට
යා හොල්ද බට ඔබ පානද යනවද
අර මම නෑ නෑ මොකද කැඩෙනවා
කතා කරගෙන
ගීතාර අරක බලන්න බලන්න කොහොමද විතර ඔය තමයි
first එක තමයි day ඊට පස්සේ පොචොට් එක ඊට පස්සේ අපිට close
අපි මේක දැන් හිතුවා දැන්
යනවද දවසක් දාගන්නවා යතිනවද යමුනේ එනවද සල්ලි හම්බුණා ඔය බලන්න හොඳයිද? ඒකයි යම් අලෝ ඒක අවුලක්. ඉස්සෙල්ලා යම් දෙන්නේ පස්සේ අපි අගෝස්තු දැන් බැඩ්මින්ටන් වැඩේ නම් මුලින්ම අගෝස්තු වගේ කරනවා. ඉතින් මේ මානේ අගෝස්තුවේ එක්සෑම් ගන්න. එතකොට අනේ පොඩි දෙන්නේ කොහොමද?
Right. Okay, we'll start now. All right. Now we learn few basic skills. One is editing tag codes, and then editing accounts, right? Editing accounts, and in editing accounts, okay, there's another step we have to learn based on the stuff we have discussed. I'll go to the accounts list and show you. Let's go to the accounts list, right? Go to the all accounts. In the accounts list, go to the all accounts tab and see here under the assets, right? Under the assets, do you see the current assets, cash on hand, and then fixed assets and all that? In this order, right? When you look at the order, these accounts are presented. Do you see any difference between this order and the order you have learned or you have experienced in advanced level or in the first year learning of accounting? In the order of having accounts, do you see any difference between this and what you know as a standard? You have accounts, assets. Then you have current assets first, and then you have fixed assets. Then if you take liabilities thereafter, you have current liabilities and then non-current liabilities. Is this the way you learn? In our account preparation, is this the order we are using? No, right? Under accounts, we first take the non-current assets. Right? Under assets, we take non-current assets first and then the current assets. Under liabilities, we take non-current liabilities first and the current liabilities second. And even under, even within the current liabilities or current assets, right? For example, current assets. Inside that, we are taking the liquidity preference, liquidity order, right? For example, we take inventory because they are the least liquid assets. They are not being sold, right? Then we come with receivables because already sold. We are about to collect money, more liquid, right? And finally, we include the cash and bank, and then cash. Bank is money, but we have to withdraw money, but cash is already cash, right? In the liquidity order, we added those accounts. But here you can't see that order, right? Then what we can do is we can modify this entire account list according to our preferred format, right? When you are modifying the account list, sometimes you will have to delete certain accounts. Sometimes you will have to modify existing accounts, and sometimes you will have to create new accounts. Okay, and sometimes you will have to change the location of an account up, down, right? Fixed assets උඩට එන්න ඕන නම් යට තියෙන account numbers ටික වෙනස් කරලා ඒවා fixed assets ටික උඩට ගන්න ඕනේ. You have to change the numbers and change the location of account, right? So for you to do this, you should carefully do the account list modification. This is like a game, right? This is like a game. So you have to make sure you have to plan the next step before changing the information of an account, right? So let's take there is another document uploaded in the LMS called the accounts list certificate, right? Right. So here you can see accounts related to profit and loss statement, right? You can see if you take all the accounts in the chart of accounts, you can classify them as accounts relevant for income statement preparation, profit and loss statement preparation. And some accounts are there that comes under the balance sheet, right? Here you can see that classification. In the profit and loss statement, you should have income accounts, cost of sales accounts, and expense accounts, right? You can see that classification. And under that, you have other income and other expenses as well. And when it comes to the balance sheet, right? Balance sheet related accounts, you have the asset accounts. Under that, you have non-current assets, current assets, and liability accounts, non-current current liability, right? End of the day, you have the equity accounts, right? You can say equity, right? So this is the classification, and this is the accounts list you have to prepare. This is the ultimate or required accounts list format you have to prepare based on what is given, right? Now we are trying to modify the accounts list, entire account list. The balance 1 hour today, and even the next week, we won't be able to complete in 1 hour. It will take more time. Even the next week we have to take, but we will learn the technique, right? How to do that? We learn the technique and then see how we can modify this account, right? Now you are having number of categories. Okay, you are having number of categories. Out of these categories, if you look at the accounts list here, these are the exact categories they represent. Okay, here you have some categories with lengthy list of accounts. Some categories that has very few accounts, like other income, other expenses, and all that, right? Now, usually when you have, let's say, so much of work, some work is difficult, some work is easy. Which work do you prefer to start first? You have, let's say, you have 10 things to do, 10 tasks to do. Some tasks are easy, some tasks are difficult. Which task do you do first? And some those who start with difficult tasks. And some those who start with easy tasks first. Right? It depends on your preference. It depends on how your brain works. Now, in this case, I'm going to start with easy work, easy task, for a reason, right? For a reason. The reason is, when you do the easy task, you will get used to it. You will practice this, right? And then you will realize the technique to use, how to modify the account. And along with that, you will have less number of activities at the end, right? You will have the difficult, lengthy list, but it's only 1 or 2 lists remain, right? But if you start with the lengthy and difficult list, then without practice, then that will be a bit of difficulty. But when you start with the easy task, you will complete the easy task first, and with that experience, you can do the difficult task with much of ease. Okay, can you do that way? Okay, then we will start the easiest one. The easiest one is other income. It has 2 accounts, right? The easiest category account class is the other income. So let me go to the other income, or the other expenses, right? Other expenses. Other expenses category here. Okay, in the income, in the profit and loss statement accounts, the last category 9-0000, 9 category. Okay, so you have only one account. Go to that 9-00 other expenses. There's nothing to change here in this. And then 9, the detailed account under that is 9-2000 income tax expenses not taxed, right? NT. So there's nothing to change in that category. That category is gone. Okay. There's nothing to change in that category. That category is according to the required list. All right. Make it clear. Ek change කරන්න මොකුත් නැහැ. අපේ ඉල්ලලා තියෙන list එකේ විදියටම තියෙනවා in the system, right? Then we will look at the other income. Okay, other income category, right? There the header is 8-0000. That is other income. Okay, there's nothing to change. It's a header account. And then under that, there is an account called 8-1000 interest income. 8-1000 interest income. That is there. Okay, again, there's nothing to change. But there is another account called 8-2000 discount received. And that account is subject to VAT. Okay, VAT, here in front of that, the tax code is mentioned. So there's no any account to modify, right? There is no any existing account to modify. Therefore, we will have to create a new account. Okay. So here, click on this button, new, right? Under that, we enter the code. Account code is 2000, right? Enter the account number 2000 and name is discount received. Discount received, right? And that is the profile details. That is the profile details. It's a detailed account, right? And then under the details tab, you have to mention the tax code as VAT, right? Tax code should be VAT. Tax code should be VAT. So in the profile details should be discounts received, right? And tax code should, under details tab, the tax code should be VAT. Okay. If these two information are correct, you can click OK. So discounts received account is created. Clear? Right. Okay, everyone. Okay. So we have modified two categories. With minimal level. Okay. Then we will look at the next easiest one. I think that is cost of sales. Shall we take cost of sales? Right. Shall we take the cost of sales account? Right. Then cost of sales is starting with 5,000, 5-000. There you can see cost of sales and services is the name. In the top level or highest order level detailed account, the name is cost of sales and services. Therefore, we can change this header account name as cost of sales and services. Cost of sales and services. Click OK. Right? Then 5-1000, that should be a header account and the name is cost of goods. Okay. Here you can see there is an account called 5-1000, that is a detailed account. Okay. 5-1000, that is a detailed account. So we will open that account and modify, right? Modify that as a header account. Okay. Now, this is the rule you have to follow. When there is any suitable account available, always try to modify an existing account rather than creating a new and deleting existing accounts. Right? Try your best to modify the account so you will maintain the internal links between the accounts. When you delete an account, sometimes you will lose those links. And another thing, in this table, right? On this, there's a column called link. Right? In this accounts table, you can see there's a column called link. Right? In that column, you can see a tick mark in front of certain accounts. The meaning is those accounts are linked to certain functions. Right? So if you try to delete those accounts, then you have to remove. You can delete, not a problem. But you are removing the link with that function. Again, you have to create a new account and set up the link. Right? Rather than doing that extra work, we will try our best to modify an existing account and replace with the account. in case if you can't find a suitable account only, we will create a new account, right? And then delete whatever the unnecessary account is, right? So since 5,100 code is there, I'm taking it and I'm making it a header account and then changing the name as cost of goods, right? Cost of goods. Cost of goods. Right. So I have 5,000, 5-1,000. And then we have an account called 5-1,100 called cost of goods sold. It's a detailed account, right? Under cost of goods, there's an account called cost of goods sold. That is a detailed account, right? Let's say there is no any discount. Here there's an account called discount given, but in the list you can see there's nothing called discount given. And there is another account called inventory adjustment, but here there is no such account called inventory adjustment, right? That means we can modify these two accounts also for some of our existing purposes, right? There's no need of these two accounts. Then we will modify one of these accounts. We'll modify this discount given account as the code is 1,100, right? Code is 1,100 and discounts given should be converted as cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold. Right. After changing the name, go to the details and it's not a not taxable, right? Tax code is not given. It's a not taxable account, so that's okay. And at the bottom, can you see there is a linked account for this? This was the discount account. Now we are going to convert this as a cost of sales account, right? There is a link under this place. You can see there is a linked account for discounts given. So if we keep this link and modify the account, we are making a mistake, right? So this is not a suitable account for hereafter. This is not a suitable account for discounts, right? Then what we can do is we will, for the moment, we will remove this link and make this account isolated. Later, before starting this discount related work, we will create the link during that function. Okay. How we can do that? There is a white zoom arrow, right? Click on that white zoom arrow to go to that function where the link is there, right? Click on that white zoom arrow. So you can see these are the sales linked accounts. This account was, the discount account was linked to sales function, right? So what we can do is in front of this account, there is an option called I give discount for early payment, right? So remove that tick mark. Remove that tick mark. The meaning is I am not giving discount for early settlements, right? When you remove this tick mark, there is no need of that account. There are. Okay. When you remove that tick mark, there is no need of that account hereafter. Then you can see after that you can click OK. You can see here there is no link, right? Unlinked. It's an unlinked account, right? So it's a free account. You can do any modification. Okay. If that is done, you can click OK. All right. Then you can click OK. Try to do that. Right. Then we'll go to the next account. So this account is done. Next account is stock losses account 5-1200, right? So here we have an account called inventory adjustment. We can convert that account, inventory adjustment account, we'll convert as the stock losses. Okay. So the code is 1200. The name of the account is stock losses. Right. And no, there's no any tax code link. The tax code is actually not taxable, NT. It's already selected, right? You can click OK. Now you have to create another account. There's another account missing. Here we don't have any account to modify also. So we have to create a new account there, right? Click a new account. 5-1300 is the account number. And then account name is freight inwards. Freight inwards. And then the tax code is value added tax. Here you have to specify the tax code as value added tax because it's mentioned. Value added tax. Right. Profile. Okay. Then you can click OK. You can click OK. So you can see freight inwards account is created. In this table, you can clearly see what is the name code and the name of the account and what is the type of that account, right? Look at this table, I mean the information. And then what is the tax code relevant for that account and also whether this account is a linked account or not, right? If it's linked to another function, that will be displayed with the tick mark, but here there is no any linked account, right? And then if there is in balance. So we have completed the cost of sales category as well, right? Then we will move on to another easy category. What is the next easy category? Income, right? Frequent income, right? We will go to the income category. Now I hope you know the technique. I hope you all understood the technique. Right? So without my guidance, can we do that? Cost of services. Okay. Ah, sorry. My mistake. There is another header and category, right? Under cost of sales? Yes, of course. So we will, in the cost of sales, we will create another new, now we don't have any other accounts to modify, so we have to create all as new accounts, right? So we will create a new account. That is a header account. What is it? Cost of services. Cost of services, the code is 2000. Right? Cost of services, header account, the code is 2000. Right? Great. Done. And then another account, 2100, cost of materials. Cost of material repair, right? New account, 2100, cost of material repairs. Cost of material repairs. It's not taxable, right? Not taxable. Okay, did you create these accounts? Did you create all these accounts? Now do you see, as we saw, there are 4 levels of accounts, right? There are 4 levels of accounts. Header accounts are there to highlight the grouping or categories. And then the detailed accounts are coming under those categories, right? Now do you see, we have cost of sales. Okay, listen. We have cost of sales and services, the parent category. Then under that we have cost of goods, that is coming in the next level, second level, right? And you can see the other 3 detailed level accounts are also coming under the second level, right? Even though they are detailed accounts, the appearance I'm talking about, appearance is coming in the second level. So how we can change that level is, you select a particular account, and at the bottom you can see there are 2 buttons called up and down. Here, up and down, the blue color 2 buttons, right? Now you can see up is inactive because you can't bring it to upper level. So down is active. So when you click on the down, so it will change to the right location or right level. Okay. So one by one you will have to bring them to the right level. Okay. So it came to the third level. When you are changing those levels, it doesn't affect your accounting treatments or accounting links or whatever it is. It is just a matter of appearance, right? It's just a matter of appearance. And also there is another small thing to learn. in a header account, now shall we take cost of services, right? Cost of services, go into that cost of services account. When you go into that cost of services account, the header account, go to the details, right? Go to the details tab. In the details tab, there is an option to select when reporting, generate the subtotal for this section, right? It's better to click on that option for all the header. So when you're preparing your final statements, final accounts, you can get the subtotal of the for those header accounts, because header accounts are created to classify the accounts and to take subtotals. Right? If you want to show that subtotal, you can click that, you can tick that button. Right? Just remember that. All right. So we are done with cost of sales. Right? Then we can go to the income. Okay.
Services.
So you can start modifying the income category, right? Income account category you can start modifying in that technique. The technique is very simple. You try your best to modify existing accounts rather than deleting or bringing new accounts. If you can't find a suitable account to replace, only you have to create new accounts. Right? After creating all the accounts one day, you have to delete under the link. Right? During the process, don't try to delete accounts. Right? If there is, after modifying everything, if there are any accounts, only you have to delete those accounts. If you want to modify or delete the linked account, if it's a linked account, you will not be allowed to delete that account. Then what you do, you go into that and remove the link. Remove the link and delete or modify that. Right? And that's it. Shall we do it? So in the income category, you can see there are two accounts that are linked. One is freight collected and the other is late fees collected, right? So you can, you have to modify those accounts. Before that, you have to remove the links, right? For example, now I am taking the freight collected account and modifying it as 1,400 repair fees income. Repair fees income, and it is under detail. It's VAT supported, and then there's a linked account, right? So I go into that link and I am removing that link. I charge freight on sales. I remove that link. I remove that link. So this account becomes free, right? Free to modify. Then I save that account, right? Repair fees income, and then I put down its level, right? Put down its level, so it comes to the exact alignment of the detail accounts, right? Here's another account called equipment. Here, late fees collected account. So I'm again modifying that. 1,500 is the code. Equipment hire income. And I'm removing the link from late charges, right? So I remove this link. I assess charges for late payment. I remove that link. Therefore, there is no late charges. And then I bring that to the third level. It's okay, not a problem. මොකද අර link දෙක අයින් කරන්න නිසා දැන් සමහර වෙලාවට හැබැයි අපි මේ link එක අපිට මේ link එකම තියෙද්දි නම විතරයි වෙනස් කරන්න ඕනේ කියන්නේ. ඒ මොකද link එක අයින් කරලා delete කරලා ආයෙ delete කරලා link කරන අපරාධ. It's a lengthy process. So better to change the name of the account. Oh, හැබැයි link එකේ තියෙන account එක දැන් මම delete කරන්න. එතකොට මොකක්ද ආයෙ link එක අයින් කරන්න වෙනවා ගිහලා. ये प्रोसेस එකම කරන්න වෙනවා නැත්නම් ඩිලීට් කරන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ. දැන් යා try කරන්න කොහොමද ඉතින් ඩිලීට් කරන්න account එක දෙන්නේ. link එක අයින් කරන්න ඕනේ. Go to the details. Go to the details and go to the white soup. Check the link. යනවා ඔය link. ඔව්. ඒක දැන් link එක තියෙන white zoom නරෝ එකට යනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඒක highlight වෙලා තියෙන line එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ line එක ඉස්සරහ untick කරනවා. ඒ account එක link වෙලා තියෙන මේ function එක. ඒ function එක remove කරනවා. ආයි function එක deselect කරනවා. හරි නේද? හරි නැත්නම් අවුල් නැද්ද ඒක? nothing.
Okay ना? Thank you guys. Okay, did you all modify the income accounts? Or all income? Right? You all have modified income account category? Then we will start. Then we will start the equity, right? Then no, we will rather going to the equity category. We will now finish off the income statement related accounts, right? So shall we start with the expenses? Right? Shall we start with the expenses? Okay. Under expenses, you have the header. Now we'll start. We know the technique. We'll with the experience now. I hope you can do this. Okay. You know the technique. You know all the options available. So with that, shall we modify the expenses? We'll start it. Expenses, not the equity, right? We'll start with expenses because we'll first finish the income, profit and loss related accounts categories, and then we will go to the balance sheet. Whenever there's a similar account, you take that account and modify the number. Or if there's a similar number, take that number and change the name. Whatever is easy. try to keep them as much as possible. If you can't keep it, you can delete. ඉස්සෙල්ලාම link කරපුවා delete කරන්න යන්න එපා. නැත්නම් try කරන්න මේක ළඟ තියෙන එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා බලන්න. ඒක modify කරගන්නව බැරි නම් ඉඳ අන්තිමට ඉවර කරලා delete කරන්න. මොකද වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් මුලින් delete කරලා පස්සේ බලයිය ඒක ගැලපෙන එකක් අහුවෙනවා පස්සේ. ඒක suitable තැනක් එනවා. එතකොට අපරාධයි. No, no, you don't have to just remove the link. If that is needed only, you have to.
It is the same account. It is the same account from it.
Yeah, no need to remove. Now, for example, we'll say depreciation, bank charges, let's say. Bank charges, and something else. Then it's just a name change. So you don't have to change links. Now here, for example, late fees paid is there, right? Late fees account is there. Now the new account is again late fees paid. Only difference is VAT is linked. Value added tax code is linked. So it's a linked account. So no need to delete and create a new account. Just open the same account and link to it. That's it. Right? So the link can be used as it is. Doesn't impact.
Right, so if you have completed up to at least financial and general expenses under the first under the expense category, if you have completed up to at least the first half of it, we can stop for the day, and next week we can start from this stage. We'll anyway go through this entire section of expenses, and we will see what corrections we can do and how to make it alive. Right? Now, can you raise your concerns in this modification? Any doubts you had? Can you ask me questions? No? No any concerns? All understood? Right. I hope you all have captured this technique, right? It's a small technique you have seen. First you look at the number, then look at the name, then match where it is suitable, right? Okay. So with that, we can wind up for the day. And you all have to now keep this document, keep this company file. You have to bring this company file next week for sure, because we are going to modify this company file and do our rest of the modification next week. Right? We'll do our next modification, the rest of the modification next week. Then you can close this company file and take it to your backups. Take it to your backup. What is the backup process you are using? Are you uploading it to the Google Drive? How do you take it? The company file email. Yeah. You are storing it in the server of SAP. You are not taking it to personal emails or whatever. So can you access the server from your home? So then how you are practicing at home? Oh yeah, you can create a new company file and practice. All right. Okay, so you can save the company file to the level you have completed. Then next week we'll start with this process. We'll start with the expenses and we'll complete it. There's nothing to save in MyOB. You don't have to save anything. Every stroke is saved. Once you complete every activity, it is automatically saved. You just have to close the company file and take the close the software and take the company file. That's it. Here now I'm closing the account list and I'm closing the company, right? I'm closing the company. And then you can see in my folder, this is the updated company file, right? I have two files, BOX file and NYO file. So MYO file is the right company file. Always remember that. And rename it with your student number. Right? Okay. All right. So with that, we can wind up the lecture today. I hope you understood what we discussed, and see you next week. We will discuss the rest of the account modification. And, right? Next week, Lama, listen. Next week we will finish this account chart of account modification, and we will record our first journal entry. We are going to start entering transactions. Thank you.